Player 1 will always move his stones to his right towards his home. Player 2 will always move her stones towards her right towards her home. Player 1 should not pick up the stones on Player 2's side unless it is a capture, and Player 2 should never pick up the stones on Player 1's side unless it is a capture. Player 1 begins by picking up all of the stones out of one of the pits on his side and moving them over one and drop one, over one and drop one, over one and drop one. If the last stone in his hand lands in his home, he gets to go again. He's going to move over one and drop one. Please notice that he did not put a stone back into the pit that he picked up the stones from. Over one and drop one, over one and drop one. If the last stone in his hand lands in one of his empty pits, he gets to capture what's across from it and put that into his home. It is now Player 2's turn. Player 2 picks up the stones on her side and moves over one and drops one, over one and drops one, over one and drops one. The last stone in her hand went into her home, so she gets to go again. Player 2 picks up these stones, moves over one and drop one, over one and drop one, over one and drop one. The last stone in her hand went into one of her empty pits, so she gets to pick up what's opposite and put it in her home. When Player 1 moves, he's going to pick up all of the stones out of the very first pit on his side. He wants to keep that pit clear so that he has opportunities in the future. He moves over one and drops one and still has 3 in his hand, so he must turn the corner to drop the next one. We have fast-forwarded the game to show you a run. It is Player 1's turn. He has 5 stones in this pit. He's going to pick those up. Over one and drop one, 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 over one and drop one. The last one in his hand went into his home, so he gets to go again. He has one here. Last one in his hand went into his home, so he gets to go again. 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 And he's going to go here to capture. That ends his turn. We have fast-forwarded the game to show how the game ends. It is Player 2's turn. Player 2 gets to go again, gets to go again, and captures here. Since Player 1's side is empty, any extra stones that are on board get to go down to Player 1's side. The game is now over, but we have to count up the beads to see who won. The players return all of their stones to their pits, and Player 2 still has 1 stone left, which means that Player 2 has more stones and has won the game.